Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Have a wonderful day. And today we're starting a new and last season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Just saying that makes me want to cry. Like seriously. It's a bittersweet moment for me because I can't believe that I'm already at the end of the season. It feels like I've been through such a roller coaster. Like seriously, a hell of a ride watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, this show has impacted me in so many ways. I can't even begin to explain to you, like seriously. And it's really a sad thing that this show is coming to an end. I know this is not goodbye. I'm totally going to watch the show again, and again. But it's gonna be the last season with you guys, and I've grown so much used to you that it's gonna suck to say goodbye at the end. But of course, I'm gonna share some moments together, and I'm gonna make the most of this last season with you guys. So, yeah, as I said, this is so bittersweet, but anyway, we have to talk a little bit about last season and the finale and all that good stuff. Last season was unique. Still, season 5 is my ultimate favorite season, but season 6 is in some way so special, and it's because I relate to it the most. I relate to all the ideas that were explored in this season. Yes, it's painful and sad, but it might be the real season so far. The big bad this season was the gang themselves. Everybody was their own worst enemy, and everyone in the real world can relate to that. This season, we got a real and unfiltered look to our character's very psyche. It deepened each character to a whole new other level. All the pain, all the heartbreak, all that depression, all that darkness, all that drama, it wasn't for shock value. It was for a harsh and yet meaningful, heartfelt story. And I love the show for that. So yeah, for all its sadness, I really loved the season. It showed that Buffy wasn't just a witty, happy show with some sad episodes here and there. It can go to a really dark place and keep it there constantly. It made sense making life the villain of the season because Buffy struggled just with the idea of living. And it's such a real thing. Each character's problems were real life situations that everyone can relate to. It felt like a carryover from the body episode, like seriously. That darkness and depression, most shows would have solved it in an episode or two. But the show shows that realistic path that this thing can take so long. Grief, depression, addiction cannot be easily curbed overnight. It takes time, and it makes the show so much more than just a typical fantasy and supernatural show. The fact that this season started with Buffy crawling out of her own grave, only to end with her crawling out into the light, this symbol for how she overcome her depression. I loved how the whole season didn't go with their traditional big bad of the season. There hasn't been a huge villain conflict since Glory, and almost all of the baddie of the week were either the trio schemes or self-inflicted by the main characters. But when we finally had a proper big bad, it was so complicated because it was Willow. And when you look back and you see the episodes with the trio, you can also see that they also focus on issues with Willow, like always hidden in plain sight. What a great way to hide the real big bad. The very fact that one of the gang becomes the big bad is so fantastic. All the build-up of the last 4 episodes, 3 of which have jaw-dropping cliffhangers. Amazing stuff. Xander's gin onion at the wedding. Magical drug addictions. Buffy handling her resurrection in a destructive way. Spike dealing with the ship. His demon side. His William side. And the fact of what he almost did to Buffy. Willow turning Dark Willow. Giles' appearance. What the hell? What the hell? By the way, Allison acted her entire ass off in those last 3 episodes. Only she can pull off being diabolically evil while she's still simultaneously being Willow. A big theme that I thought was extremely profound is the idea of consent. Willow struggled with it many times during the season. She did magical spells on Tara and all her friends without their consent. The trio, of course, Jonathan didn't even realize that having a sex slave was rape. Then Spike assaulting Buffy with the justification that she needed to feed him to be reminded of his love. Amy giving magic to Willow without her consent. They all violated someone in one way or another. And it was an interesting concept. And it was interesting that the fact that they tried to touch on that aspect, you know? For me, I really didn't like the trio this season. They were a bit one-dimensional. Usually big bads are, but in this season particularly, it didn't work. But I do understand why it was necessary to have them, if it makes sense. The only interesting part about them is how they started being just nerdy boys, playing games, trying to be big bads, even though they suck at that, until they became men who committed evil crimes. Jonathan got it out of the tree. He was the most mature. He understood the weight of what they did. Yeah, he kept quiet, but he did realize that Warren was dangerous. Andrew, man, is just a simp minion willing to blindly be loyal to him. The thing that kind of bothered me a bit, I'm not sure if bothered me is the right word, but I didn't like the fact that we didn't really have the time to digest Tara's death, because immediately we went to Dark Willow. I loved the scene between Xander and Willow, not only because he was the one to pull Willow back, but it was also a moment that grief for the pain that Willow has gone through with the loss of Tara. The impact of Tara's death was finally dealt with when Willow collapsed with Xander on the bluff. But as I said, it really made sense that Xander was the one who pulled her back, because Xander, more than anyone, holds a special place in Willow's heart. He's her first love, her best friend since childhood. I can't think of anyone else who could have penetrated her wall of grief enough to remind her of her humanity. This season, Xander spent time doubting himself, letting his fears take control of himself. He doubted his ability to do good by the people he loves. And it wasn't just in relation with Anya, it was in relation with everyone else that is close to him. He doubted himself. He thought that he's incapable of doing anything to his loved ones. And for me, in that scene, he overcome his fears. His love for Willow was strong enough that he overcome his fears, even in the face of death, which was so beautiful to see. The greatest thing about seeing Anya's reaction to hearing Xander is the one who saved the world this time is that sudden realization that she spent all this time trying to hurt him, that if she did, he wouldn't even be able to, save the world. And it was so subtle that I really, really loved it. I would have never imagined a story's arc that ended with both Buffy and Giles out of commission, leaving it to Xander to save the world from Willow. I mean, who would have thought? Willow always thought that she was a nobody, and it was a constant thing since season 1. But before Tara, before Oz, she always had Xander. He loved her, even though she feels like she's a nobody. But nevertheless, he loved her the way she is, the way she was back then. And Xander is that constant reminder that old Willow was worth something, and it's such a beautiful thing to see. Also, the fact that Willow and Xander's relationship is not romantic, it is what makes this whole thing way better. I appreciate so much the show for giving us a platonic relationship. They put friendship at center, not romance. And God, I love this show for this, like seriously. Like in this whole Buffyverse, I feel like there's 3 characters who had the most character development of all the other characters. Willow, Cordelia, and Wesley. Cordelia also did a total 180 and became a woman to be proud of in the end, like Willow. And Wesley, this guy was a literal geek in every sense possible. And yet, in a few years, he became such a dark and badass character. And Willow, like, from this sweet, genuine, nerdy girl that lacks confidence to dark, veiny Willow. Like, what? Spike. They had us in the end. Like, seriously had us. I really thought that he was talking about his ship. But it turned out to be not the case. Alice played perfectly, even though I noticed how it was weird that he was there looking after taking his ship from his head to hurt Buffy when we already established that the ship doesn't work on her in the first place. So yeah, I was like, what? But they really did play me. But it makes sense knowing his existential crisis, and his feelings for Buffy are a huge part of that. And he's been struggling with himself non-stop this season. And I feel like what happened with Buffy was the final tipping point that spiraled him. I remember his words being like, what have I done? What did I do? Why did I not do it? Why do I feel this way? But then it came to him, and he sets out to get his soul back. He wants to go back to being William, a man that he thinks is worthy of Buffy. But we all know that getting your soul back after centuries of torturing, killing, and mayhem doesn't mean happiness and rainbow once you get it back. But this is only gonna make Spike worthy to have a redemption arc, you know, just like Angel. And it's interesting to know that the difference between Angel and Spike is that Angel didn't choose to have a soul. Spike had. He chose on his own accord to get his soul back. So I'm not sure how it's gonna work with him, you know? So both Willow and Spike got their souls back at the end of season 6, which is interesting. Anyways, guys, without further ado, let's dive into this reaction. Istanbul? What? What's going on? Who is she?
It's about power. Who's got it? Who knows how to use it?
She's teaching her how to be a
The
slayer?
stake is not the power. Doesn't matter how well prepped you are or how well armed you are. You're a little girl. Woman. Little woman. I'm taller than you. He's a vampire. I'm the slayer. You don't want to get into it with me. You want blood? You can have hers.
Buffy's all in. I'm actually surprised. You missed. She missed. Buffy, are you not gonna lay a hand? Buffy!
Buffy! It's real. It's the only lesson, Dawn.
Yeah, we got
Always
it.
real. Let me
I
see.
love that top.
Nothing, it's just a scrape.
It's just the next time we're
You
gonna
did
pretty well.
Oh,
I did.
Yeah. My first time out.
oh
missed the
yeah,
whole
I
thing.
forgot that.
way.
She missed it too.
Just the once.
Well, I just can't believe it's back.
Believe me, I thought I was long past it.
What's
Guess
back?
you never are.
It is my great pleasure and privilege to announce the official opening of the brand new state-of-the-art
Sunnydale High School! Wait. Sunnydale High School. They never mentioned the construction of the school before this episode. Are we going back to where we started? This is so cool. Willow! They're in England? She's in England with him? So she didn't lose her powers.
The Coven is... They're the most amazing women I've ever met. But there's this look that they get.
Oh, did he bring her here to reconnect with light magic? To reconnect with herself again? And get all of that darkness out of her system, maybe?
Like I'm gonna turn them all into bangers and mash or something.
You're connected to a great power, whether you feel it or not.
Well, you should just take it from me.
So all that magic she took while she was Dark Willow is still there. It's just she's more connected to her humanity now. Cool.
Learning about magic, all about energy and Gaia and root systems.
Light magic.
Do you want to be punished?
I want to be Willow.
Oh, come on, you are.
In the
Yeah.
end, we all are who we are, no matter how much we may appear to have changed.
Speaking of change,
Morning.
Well, you gotta eat something. I made cereal.
Buffy feels lighter, happier. Oh, Buffy, I miss seeing her that way. It's been a long time.
You remember the very center of Sunnydale's own Hellmouth?
Under the library.
Library,
So I
yeah.
lined
Oh,
up
missed
plans,
library.
new and old, and right exactly where the library was, we now have.
Principal's office.
Well, the last two principals were eaten. Who'd even apply for that job?
Guess we'll see. And stay away from hyena people or
Hyena people.
you know, or if you see anyone that's invisible. Hey,
This is
Buffy, I
totally,
think
this
it's
is
pretty
totally
safe
the
to say I'm
last
not gonna see
season.
anybody that's invisible. This place is evil.
Tough to let him go, huh?
Hi.
I'm Robin Wood, new principal.
Fishy.
Oh, Buffy Summers.
We're wary of Sunnydale High School's principals.
You seem a bit young to have such a grown-up daughter.
Oh, no,
Oh,
it's my hair. I have mom hair.
No.
I actually have heard of you, Miss Summers. You graduated from the old high school, am I right?
Scary vibes already.
Can't protect her. Couldn't protect me.
What? The school is built on Hellmouth. What did I expect? Ghosts? I mean, a lot of people died in the
I love to
explosion.
dance. I like music.
So,
I'm very into Britney Spears' early work.
What? We have to go. It's not safe. But we, Don, I just thought you were, in danger of smoking.
No deaths, no eviscerations. You're not goading women into anything inventive, and you're not delivering when it is.
I don't even know.
Yeah, waitress downtown wished her husband was a frog. You made him friend. DeHoffrin, the lower beings, they're all feeling the heat. Something's rising. Something older than the old ones, and everybody's tail is twitching. This is a bad time to be a good guy.
this is a bad time to be a good guy.
So school's back in session, huh?
Big time.
Old times.
They were after you personally?
They talked about protecting people. Told me to leave.
No damage, though.
I think I may have destroyed Dawn's social life in all of about 30 seconds, but apart from that, no.
Could I borrow a pencil? Thanks a lot.
Are you all right?
Oh, it didn't happen. Oh my god. She a real person?
What's wrong?
There's someone in here.
You know, I have to be honest. I actually know a little bit more about you than I let on before.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh, it really is.
Does he know that she's Slayer?
Can get some air.
interesting first day at school.
Just breathe.
I felt...
She feel the earth?
I felt the earth. I saw the earth, Giles. I saw its teeth.
The whole mouth.
It's gonna open. It's gonna swallow us all.
Who are you?
Who are you? Are you dead?
Are you dead or are you alive?
We're not dead. We saw creepy dead people and we're just trying to get out.
I just came down here for a smoke, you know? And I saw it.
Hear me. Right. Oh, I got a present. What is it? A weapon.
Well, it's clear your sister looks up to you, which I think is
She
great.
gave her a phone.
Much work. Yeah?
I'm not sure about this guy.
Sorry.
He
my
looks
dog.
interesting.
A dog. Walker. Are we dead?
Oh my God.
No, I'll be right there.
The dogs are dead?
Where did they go?
Oh yeah.
Where's my sister?
Dude, sorry, and all, but she can't possibly save everyone. Just saying. She's one person.
Come on, what are you after? Fear, revenge, tasty brains?
I think I'd like Dawn to be my girlfriend.
Again, wrong sister. I'm the one that dates dead guys. And no offense, but they were hotties.
Is that why you let me die?
I was screaming for help when they pulled me
Hello?
down.
Not making
Oh,
myself
they
clear.
didn't all die in the explosion. Oh, sorry, my bad. How can they touch her? Spike! He's back! And he has a saw.
Spike.
And he has a blonde noodle hair. A blonde noodle hair. I'm really looking forward to see how he's gonna handle his, his soul, because we know how Angel handled that at first. He was kind of in denial and he tried to go back to being jealous and be normal and kill people, but it didn't work out. He was miserable for a time and he kept drinking human blood, by the way. He didn't try to do good things. He didn't really care. He didn't really care about humans. He was just, minding his own business, living his immortal, miserable life. Until he learned about Buffy. I'm really looking forward to see this.
Are you real?
Buffy. Duck.
What? There's a duck?
Oh,
No visitors today.
look at all those marks.
Terribly busy.
What the hell, Spike?
Not fast. Not a quick study.
I dropped my board in the water and the charcoal ran.
Spike? Have you been speaking to Drusilla by any chance? Just saying. The fact that last time she saw him, it was when that happened. And she is not trying to get away from him. She kind of looks... It kind of looks like she misses him, and now she is wondering about what the hell is going on with him. Which is interesting.
I tried to cut it out.
Oh, I thought it's from the trial. He tried to cut his own heart out? Spike, he's really going through it.
You know what they are?
Manifest spirits controlled by talisman, raised to seek vengeance. A 4-year-old could figure it.
For your figures.
Hang tight. I'll find you.
Yeah! Yes! Ay!
Whoa. Contracty goodness.
You can thank your sister for this.
Thanks, sis. We just need to keep them at bay.
Talisman.
What do we do? But who summoned them? That's the question. Who made that talisman?
Are they gone?
Oh, she found her own dad now.
Yeah, I mean it. You are the coolest mom ever.
Are you being serious?
Oh, okay, come on. We still have a few more classes to look through.
Shaking her hair.
We got a lot of troubled students here, and just enough money to keep this place from caving in. And the money we could pay you wouldn't even fold, but it would just be a couple of days a week.
Are you asking me to be a counselor?
Oh, God, she won't understand. She won't understand.
Of course she won't understand, Sparky. I'm beyond her understanding. She's a girl.
Why is this guy here again?
I'm more than that. More than flesh.
Blood.
That's all right, though.
I can be patient. Everything is well within parameters. She's exactly where I want her to be.
Oh no, this is in his head.
Right where you belong.
So what do you think? You get your soul back and everything would be Jim Dandy? Soul's slipperier than a greased weasel. Why do you think I sold mine? But you never will.
Drusilla! Drusilla!
You'll
Drusilla!
always be mine. You'll always be in the dark.
God, Drusilla!
That's where we're going.
Holy shit, this is awesome! This is awesome!
Still don't get it. It's not about right. Not about wrong.
It's about power.
It's about power.
The first thing she said this episode. This is the most awesome thing ever. What the hell?
You've always liked them.
You always
Right from the
liked them.
beginning.
Right from the beginning.
And that's where we're going.
Right back to the beginning.
Yeah, we're going right back to the beginning. Yes, exactly.
The word.
What do I make of this? Like, this is the first thing that she said in the start of the episode. It's about it's about power, and now she's the one saying it again. Holy shit! I am blown away. Seriously, the fact that the actors managed to pick up the feel and emotions of the characters as if they never left the show. It's crazy. It helps, of course, that this whole scene was well written. Everything is called back to woman's misogyny, Gloria's divine arrogance, Adam and his whole thing with technology and, and him calling Spike number 17 again. The mayor as folksy and as old-fashioned as usual. That reminded me of how much I love the mayor, like so sarcastic and jolly, even though he's pure evil. And then we had Drusilla being creepily intimate as I remember her to be. And finally the master, the one who started it all, like being all philosophical and stuff. And we ended it with Buffy. I'm guessing that this is all is happening in his subconscious. He said to Buffy that there's 3 in there. So I'm assuming it's him and his other state of mind. So all this is happening in his mind. He is struggling with him, the Spike the vampire, the evil vampire that did that and that and that and that. And this new side of him that has a soul, and he is, in this war inside, trying to figure out how to deal with all of that. And those villains are a representation of what is going on his mind. And I really, really like that. Like, seriously, that's what I got from the scene. Man, this scene is literally built on so much built up in history, and you only get to see that after watching it, be like, holy shit, a lot of things happened. There's so much history, there's so much stuff that went on, it's crazy. And to bring back all those characters for just brief seconds, oh my god, it felt like a love letter to the fans. But the question wasn't jealous. He was a big bad too in season 2. Jealous had to be there, come on. But anyway, the music, this episode being in the final season, it just makes everything so epic. I really love this episode so much. It felt like going back to the bases. After a really, really dark season, Buffy is no longer depressed. Willow is coping with what she did. Dawn finally taking over things. Trying to be helpful. She wanted that so badly, so I'm really happy for her. It really feels like an end of something. And it really, really feels so bittersweet. It's crazy. Yeah, so Spike is really going through it. He tried to cut his own heart out. Holy shit. Well, I'm just I don't want to compare, but since those are the only two vampires known in this universe that got their souls, you can't help but, compare. Angel tried to kill people. He tried to go back to being jealous. And yeah, he figured out that it's not possible. He couldn't do that. But anyway, and it makes sense because William and Liam were complete. Right, Angel's name was Liam when he was human, right? I think I'm right. Liam and William were completely different. William was a sweet, sensitive, romantic, nice guy. So it makes sense that he would have a more severe reaction to him having a soul. Also, I have to ask about the whole curse thing. Angel was cursed. His soul was a sort of punishment for his past crimes. And Angel's curse came with a kind of loophole where he can't really feel true happiness, or else he loses his soul. So, is this going to be the same for Spike? Because the way the two of them got their soul is completely different. Angel's soul was a curse made specifically for him. It was made specifically for him as a punishment. But Spike went through trials to get his soul back by choice. So I'm not sure if he feels true happiness, he will lose his soul or not. I'm really curious about that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my reaction and see you in the next video.